We are live. Hey everybody, this is Kurt Muller here and Nicholas Bridges. Nicholas is being able to play father today from home, so I'll kind of do a sound check here real quick while baby gets to bounce on dad's knee for a couple of minutes. Hey, it's good to see everybody here. Today we're going to do the Golden Ad training. If you wouldn't mind, as you're joining us onto the presentation, go ahead and type on over into the comment section. Let us know that you can hear us. So just say, hey Nick, Kurt, we hear you loud and clear, and I always love to hear where you're from. I know, Nick, you like to do a sound check as well, too. I believe your daughter, beautiful little daughter is going to be helping out just a little bit with this sound check.
Hi.
So,
can you say hi? Hi? Yeah, she doesn't really say hi yet. So, all right. Are we live?
Started here in just a second. I see a bunch of people just piling on through. Again, hey, Sally from New York. That is great to see you. So many people piling on here. Oh, great. We got a lot of people piling on here, Nick. I'm really excited. We're going to jump on the training here in just a minute. One of the new things that we're using is Webinar Jam, and it's quite interesting. We kind of see a small little delay from hitting the start button and a bunch of people kind of loading on in. So really fun to say. So, Nick, real quick, we've worked together for 5.5 years. I mean, right before we get in the presentation here, we worked together for what, 5.5 years? And as we've refined presentations over the years, I'm just curious, you've been watching the agency and stuff like that. What have you seen this process do for the agency and our clients and our students in just the last 6 months alone?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, sorry.
That's okay. It's fun.
Mom went to get our other one from preschool, so hold on one second. And so Kurt, I think just FYI, I think there's a slight delay between the chat and the us talking, so that's why it took a second for people to start showing up. So if we're asking questions, we're probably gonna have to let it go for a few minutes. So,
not a problem. So I got some. So Nick, real quick, just to answer the question before we jump in the training, what have you seen this process do for our students and our agency in the last 6 months alone?
It's just been amazing, the results that brand new people like the case study you're going to talk about today are having just tremendous amount of success, and without all the guesswork that you used to come with, figuring out what's going to work, what's not going to work, how many what kind of messaging do I need to find, how do I find my audience, what do I need to say to them, all those sort of things. You've kind of put it into this process where it takes out a lot of the guesswork, which is pretty awesome. So I'm real excited to share all this information today and to see what people can do with it.
And just a couple of things here. Yes, there will be a replay. We ask you to stick around so we can answer any of your questions, of course, here as well too. By the way, you'll have an opportunity at the very end. We typically don't hand out these types of presentations, but I'll give you an opportunity to do that if you want to. And I will tell you, we're actually using this exact same process for a client right now who's going to spend over $100,000 in 6 weeks. And it's all tracked, and it's all due to this golden ad process to make it highly profitable. Now, keep in mind, this process can work regardless if you have a funnel, sales experience. It's really quite easy step by step. But please tune in. This is the kind of the time to make sure you're logged out of Facebook, that you have your phone on vibrate, or just turn off all the notifications. Really have an open mind and just kind of move forward. Nick, before I start sharing my screen, anything you want to add to the group or anything before we kick this off?
No, I mean, it's a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time. So don't be overwhelmed if you're not quite getting something. We can have some time for questions at the end, or we're always here to help. That's one of the things we really like to do, is give back to our community and all the people who plug into this. So yeah, don't feel overwhelmed if it gets a little too over your head. Even a dummy can do it. So it just takes a little bit of time.
So hang on a second, Nick. Let me go ahead and click on this button. I'm going to click on this button over here, and you should see my screen for the golden ads. Do you see that?
I do.
That is great. So, Nick, I know you turned off your camera over here. Nick, when I go into full presentation mode, if you need anything, go ahead and send me a text message. You may help me with some of the questions in here. But sure. I'm going to go ahead and play that. Yep, because once I'm in my director screen, I can't see any of the comments in here. So, but you can see my screen with the golden ad and everything?
You
Can you hear me okay, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Let's jump right on into this. Very excited, everybody. Now, hey, real quick as we jump into this, this is really going to be for any kind of ad skill level, whether you're just getting started out or if you're an expert. If you're an expert, there's some ninja things I'll show you to the end. But all of what I'm going to show you is exactly what Facebook is looking for, LinkedIn, Twitter, the other platforms as well. So this is really universal knowledge. So specifically, what is this golden ad that we're here to talk about? Well, whether you're selling ebooks, online courses, insurance, real estate, raising capital, coaching, network marketing, memberships, here's the thing. There are some things that you can't market on Facebook. Always read the terms of use. What we're really going to focus on is we're going to focus on engagement. Now, what I'm going to show you today is the simple steps to success that will allow you to begin creating your golden ad campaign starting today. Now, if you have ever been on a training webinar with me, seen any of our videos, been in a mastermind with me, watched me speak on stage, you know I'm very transparent. What I like to do is give you all the information to make you successful, and you kind of decide what to do from there. But we've proven, and I know that this works. So my goals for today is I want to show you how to create a simple Facebook marketing plan that can make your business a ton of money without having to spend a ton of money on testing. Now, you can sell a product or service without being pushy or manipulative in any way. And in fact, your prospects will look at you with gratitude and appreciation when you use this process. This is really a much simpler way to qualify your audience overall, to really understand what you need to fix on your ads or your funnel so you can move forward. Now, what I'm going to show you is what you can implement this strategy no matter what your product or service is, no matter your experience, or what kind of budget you have. Now, there are some things that you just can't sell on Facebook. You just can't. Read the terms of use. You can't sell guns or weapons or drugs or babies. I don't know if it actually says babies, but it probably makes you can probably get the sense. Just read the terms of use before you start to advertise. So today's agenda, I want to teach you these easy must-do steps, and that I walk every client through when starting their advertising campaign. Now, just to let everybody know, for any of you who know us with our ad agency, any of our high-end clients that we have, any that are multiple six-figure, seven-figure, eight-figure businesses, I speak to them for about a half an hour when I first get to know them. But when we sit down and get started, I take them through a very similar presentation. So we're going to see, again, from our high-end clients that can translate to any type of business size or almost any industry. This is really going to change the way you look at marketing as an expense and instead consider it an investment and an asset for your business. You know, someone once said, what's the return on social media? I don't know, what's your ROI on your mom? Your mom's pretty important to your life, but I'm going to show you when you're looking at this new marketing concept, and it's really not new, it's just structured in an easy to explain way. You can understand for every click that you get, you'll be able to follow up with those individuals really building a tribe. I'm going to share with you a real life case study of a marketing dunce that has tripled his monthly revenue in just 90 days. And again, anybody can do this for how we have this case study set up. And we're going to show you how to get all the ongoing support that you could ever need. We're going to make this really simple. Now, Tony Robbins says this, and I love this. I just recently saw his documentary. Nick and I have seen him live. Very interesting individual, and I really can't agree more with this. Success leaves clues, and if you want to be successful, find someone who's achieved the results that you want and copy what they do. That's it. So our unique perspective is, because we've worked in so many different industries and over close to 38 different industries at this point, spent millions of dollars on Facebook and Google and these other platforms, not only do we have clients, but thousands of students, we know statistically what works with the masses because we can see it. So for example, let's just say that you wanted to learn to invest, right? There's a lot you really need to know. A lot of people like to make it sound that it's really simple. However, no, and you can lose a lot of money real quick. Well, Warren Buffett, most successful investor in the world. I mean, here's the thing. What about if you were able to work with Warren Buffett or even one of his direct staff members? What about somebody who is trained directly with Warren Buffett? Now, if you don't recognize who this man is, he's the most successful investor in history. And what would learning from Warren be worth? I mean, I can't say for certain, but a recent auction bidder agreed to pay over $3 million, actually $3,456,789 just to eat lunch with him. So if you want to invest, would this be a great place to start by learning from a master? Now, I'm not saying I'm like a Warren Buffett at all, but what I'm saying is I did come from Omaha in the same hometown, and well, we've established that you're here, right? When you want to know from successful people who run Facebook ads. So if not, feel free to leave. But if you really want to know the step-by-step processes, I'm going to show you what I use for our clients. Now, again, I've spent well over $7 million on Facebook ads in the last few years, working with a wide array of clients. Now, a lot of this money and spend accelerates quite quickly month after month between Google, Facebook, and some of the other platforms. So just a real quick, if you are here for the very first time, our clients, we have a wide breadth and reach of clients. Anyone from Ocean Robbins, Baskin Robbins' grandson, and how he's revolutionizing literally world change on how people eat. Mike Dillard, another person who's revolutionized world change by some of the projects that he's working on how to feed people, how to teach people online. We also have people like the San Antonio Spurs, national best-selling authors, content creators, funnel builders. We have national best-selling speakers and authors and musicians. The thing is we've worked in a gamut of industries. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Kurt Molley. I own a company called Black Box Social Media, along with Nick Bridges, my partner here on this call, where we have a full-fledged Facebook and Google agency, and we train thousands of people around the world on how to do the same thing. I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on masterminds. I was just in one just yesterday where I sat in the room with someone who is just about 30 years old, who has created a $100 million online company in just the last 3 years. That was just one of the 6 individuals invited into that room. See, what I do is I also love to share this information on stage. What this means from you is I have a really unique perspective and aggregate of information of what works and what doesn't, from highly successful people who are spending a lot of money to people who are just getting started. I know exactly where the gaps are. I know exactly where to help. Now, let me give you a real life case study of Brian Johnson. Brian's a great friend of mine, and honestly, he's the perfect avatar. He's someone who's really passionate about his business. He really cares about people. He just needs some help with marketing. Many of you may feel the same way. So Brian's business model, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions along the way, and I want to keep you really engaged. It's going to help the learning process. So I'm going to want you to put some of these comments over into the comment section. So Brian's his business model. Health and wellness expert. Now he's a personal trainer. He can help people with fitness. He's a personal nutritional expert, body language expert, emotional wellness, alternative, holistic medicine. He does lots of different things. He doesn't just have one service. He has lots of different services. I'm just curious, type in the comment section, do you have lots of products and services or just one? Some people, like if you're a chiropractor, you may have lots of different things that you can offer. Or you may just have one. Just put it in the comment section for me so I can see, do you have lots of offers or lots of products or just one? It'll help me out. Because what we start with is we focus on just one. Now, Brian's business goals personally were to spend less time one-on-one with people, like at a gym coaching them, but more online. He wanted to reach more people. He has great content, but he needed to produce predictable results to have predictable income. And also, he wanted to get leads into some kind of digital program or coaching program, create profitable income online that he can track, diversify his projects, and increase his reach. Now, here's what happens. So Brian doesn't have any technical skills. Okay? Brian doesn't have an email list. So he doesn't have go to an opt-in page at the time, go to an opt-in page, opt-in, get emails. He had 2,000 friends on Facebook, which is great. And he honestly had a fan page that he posted to every once in a while and kind of neglected it. He had no predictable lead flow. He had no idea how he was getting leads off Facebook. He had little experience on social media, no automated follow-up process, and no online funnel. So I'm just curious, go ahead and just type in the comment section. If you are more qualified than Brian, please type in the comment section. So please go ahead and do me a favor right now. If you are looking at this list, if you have an autoresponder, if you already have a landing page, if you have already figured out how to get traffic to your landing page, you are light years ahead of Brian. So again, please let me know, do you have more or less skills than Brian? By the way, he knows that we talk about him like this all the time. He's a great friend. But if you have more skills than what Brian has, you're really going to be ahead of the game. Even if you have less skills than Brian, if you're passionate about your product and service, I can show you how you can really make it effective online. See, the opportunity is he's passionate about his business, probably like many of you are. They truly want to help people. Brian's highly consistent and he's very open-minded to testing. So as I'm showing you and talking about new techniques, keep an open mind, follow simple directions. What Brian likes to say, keep this fun and easy. Just say, I choose to make this fun and easy. Don't give up. Don't look back. You don't run a business when you look in a rearview mirror. You look forward. We're going to show you the numbers and how to progress forward. Brian's not a great content writer. What he's really good at reading content, producing videos. And when I say producing videos, I mean with his iPhone where he hits a button to add one little branding thing to it.
That's it. No microphone, no schmancy, fancy lighting, nothing like that. But he's willing to at least test and verify some of the parts we're talking about. So Brian comes to me actually a little over a year ago, and Brian goes, hey, Kurt, I want to run Facebook ads. And I go, look, you're not consistent yet. You don't even know what your message is. Until you're consistent posting on Facebook, there's no reason to run ads. So what Brian did between January and May 15th of this year is he tried to run a couple of ads, and he only spent $100, but he would spend like $20 and then not see any action. But then he didn't really spend enough, but he didn't know he wasn't spending enough. And maybe you feel like this sometimes the same way. You just don't know what you just don't know until someone shows you, So the thing is Brian had a really high cost and low relevance. So he didn't want to spend $100 to get, at $1.50 a page, like $100. What does that get him? Less than 75 likes? That's hardly anybody to engage with. So what we did for the first 15 days, you can see in the top right-hand corner right here, from May 15th to May 31st, we just focused on engagement. Now I'm going to show you the step-by-step process in just a moment, but we just focused on just engagement and we kept the relevance score high. Now remember, if you're new at Facebook ads, relevance score is going to be the most important thing that you focus on while starting out, or why do what we call season your account. See, the more relevant your ads are, allow you to display them, and you're going to see cheaper clicks. So when we first start out, we just start out with engagement. You can see some of these costs right here, 2 cents for engagement or 10 cents. Now, a quick little disclaimer, 10 cents for a like. Quick little disclaimer, depending on your niche, your cost may differ. Is 10 cents a like or $1 a like really cheap? I don't know, because I don't know your niche. The goal is to find high relevance scores and then determine what's the average cost for your industry. It doesn't matter if it's high or low, it just is what it is. But follow this process to get the lowest price possible when you're running your ads. Now, just after 16 days after we focus on engagement, for that first real 30 days of running traffic, here's what ends up happening. Look at all these relevance scores. And look, cost per likes, 9 cents, video views, a penny, video view, a penny, video view, 2 cents, post page engagement, 3 cents. Well, what does this mean? This means that literally when I set up engagement right, I can retarget for pennies. I'm going to show you the exact process, but after just 30 days with Brian, here's what ends up happening. We move from 30 days and really start qualifying these golden ads that I'm going to show you. And what we found is that Brian posted a video of a purple sweet potato on his Facebook page. And I'm going to show you this exact process in a second. Those seem to work out pretty well. So we promoted it to his likes. Then we promoted it to people who visited his website. Then we found that those groups of people really liked his ad. So what we decided to do is target a cold market. That's where you see when we're at the 46 to 75 day mark. And again, Brian's only spending like $50 or $75 a day. But this is where he generates over 9,000 clicks, almost 10,000 clicks for 10 cents for a 10 relevance score. We can scale this predictably all day long. So just in July, Brian spent $2,104. His gross revenue was $10,000. So it's an ROI of over 488%. Now, here's the thing when you really look at the numbers. Please pay attention to this. Brian only got 311 leads. If you really think about it, spending $2,100 for 311 leads, he hardly has any leads. Brian didn't make the majority of his sales through a sales funnel. Brian, what he was able to do is the sales funnel didn't work. Brian was able to make up this money in a really big way where it didn't matter if he didn't have any leads. I'm going to show you exactly what that is step by step here in just a couple of moments. But even though Brian spent $2,100, he also got 4,800 plus likes, 10,462 website clicks. Now, these are really qualified website clicks, so these are great to retarget. But look at this, 108,000 video views. It's branding. We can retarget this audience. I mean, now Brian's getting massive exposure. So not only did Brian only get 311 leads, he did make a good ROI. Audience he can retarget. See, what it's all about is if we can focus on low or high relevant, low cost engagement, we will drive tons of traffic for pretty much the same budget what you're spending right now. And we're going to be really smart about it. So everything I'm about ready to show you is inside what we call an ecosystem strategy. One thing is going to affect another. What most people do that you will no longer do after this, most people will set up, run website clicks, and they don't know, okay, wait a minute, was my targeting not right? Was it, maybe it was my ad copy, maybe it was my landing page, I don't know. Well, now we're gonna know. As we work in unison, like you see here in this ecosystem or this pond, the frogs that live with the tadpole and the flies and the sun and the water weeds, like they all live together harmoniously. And it's always in existence to be used over and over and over. So I'm going to show you this strategy. We're no longer going to have wasted clicks. You're no longer going to have wasted ad spend, and no longer will you say, I don't know what happened. All I know is I hit a boost post or ran some ads and nothing happened. Now you're going to know specifically how to make it happen. Simple visual concept. Here's what we're going to go through today. We're going to talk about how to qualify your audience with the right likes. Now, qualifying your avatar is extremely important. I'm going to get there in just a moment. I don't care if you have 10,000 likes or 100,000 likes on your page. What I care about is we are targeting very specific people, or let's just say that they're dog lovers of dachshunds. Running an ad that says, do you love dachshunds, like us? Getting someone to like your page like that is a really low cost because you know who you're targeting. Now you're going to be able to follow up with those likes many times much more inexpensively. Now, posting content. Let's be completely honest. Hardly anybody sees free content posted on fan pages these days. However, I'm going to show you in just a moment how to make that work for your advantage. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. And no, it's not one of those cheesy one weird trick things. This is something we're going to leverage Facebook's algorithm in a very ethical and profitable way. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out which of the posts work the best, and we're going to do 2 boost posts a week. That means we're going to target just our likes. So the people that we're targeting for the like campaign, they're going to come over and like our page, and we're going to do a boost post to see if that content's relevant. These other processes in here is we're going to welcome people over to the page. I'll explain this in a moment. We're going to see what our most relevant boost post is. From there, we're going to start targeting our golden ads. Now, by the time that we get to the process in the blue, the process in the blue is where you can start testing new offers, new funnels, new book offers, new consulting, whatever new product or service you want. This is where you can test for literally $50, $100, maybe $150, and you can clearly see if your ad's going to work or not to scale to cold traffic. We're also going to cover the exact process of how to create that golden ad so you know almost without a doubt that the ad that you're about ready to use can absolutely run in cold market. We're also going to set up retargeting based off the golden ad, so now we're only retargeting the best traffic. The very last step is something called a splinter offer that I'm going to get into, but this is one of the biggest things that made a huge difference for Brian, and especially this last month. This last month, Brian in August has run just likes only, and that's it. And he did some boost posts and followed a couple of very specific strategies here. There's one specific strategy at the very end here that he implemented and was able to produce over $17,000 of revenue this month and only $2,100 of ad spend. Again, this is with a broken funnel. So if you have a working funnel, it's going to work even better. So what we're going to do is we want to qualify the avatar. Like I said, let's say we're advertising to a group of Dachshund owners, right? Or how about Dalmatians, so I can make sure I say the word right overall, right? So again, I don't care about the vanity of likes. Don't ever buy likes from a like farm to your page. Anybody who says I'll get you 5,000 US likes for under $100, run. What we want to do is we want to spend time focusing on, it's not about where can I target on Facebook. It is who am I going to target? I'm going to get really specific on who I'm going to lock in and who I'm going to talk about or who I'm going to target. Because once I know who I want to target, the targeting options are easy. Now what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to post content. Now we encourage you to do this 2 to 4 times a day in a very specific format. I'll get in the format here in a minute. I'm going to go from a 10,000 foot view. I'm going to go more granular, but I want to make sure we keep it at a really high level so everybody understands it as we follow along. Now, see what's going to happen for whatever reason inside of Facebook as you're posting free content. You're going to notice that some posts just seem to perform a little bit better than others. So for example, if you're scrolling down your personal fan page or your business page, you may see, well, this post got a reach of 500. This one got a reach of 600. This one got a reach of 500. This one got a reach of 500. Well, this one got a reach for 1,300. I'm not really quite sure why I got more than anybody else. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a boost post. So this is where you hit that little boost post button. It doesn't have to have a call to action to a website. It does not have to be a conversion, something that you're trying to drive leads to. You just want to see if you hit boost post and you advertise it just to your likes, well, do people see your content? So remember, when you're posting free content, less than 0.5% of people will see your content. However, Facebook will pick up in their algorithm a couple of stuff that that is really relevant to your avatar. That's the stuff that you want to run at least 2 boost posts a week for $5 a day for 3 days. You want to boost that post, or you want to boost that relevant post in front of just your likes. You want to see, hey, if a small percentage liked it, what would happen if I advertise this just to my likes? Does a larger percentage like it? Now we're starting to uncover the content that your like audience is really enjoying and clicking on. Okay, now that we got a little bit of engagement, right? We're focusing on relevance, we're focusing on engagement. I'm not getting people to my website right yet. And by the way, I can do this for $5 or $10 or $15 a day. This is gonna help me pre-qualify ads. Now that I have some content going on and new likes coming to the page, I want to create what we call a welcome like content. And this is a very simple process. It can either be a video or a post. And what you're going to do is you're going to target that video or post for $5 a day, and you're going to target just your likes right here. That's it. See, what's going to happen is many times if you have a video that says something along the lines of, "Hi, I'm Kurt." You may have checked out my page because you're looking to learn how to advertise more on Facebook, or maybe even on Google, or maybe you want to understand more about online funnels. I just want to say welcome. You're going to find regular content on our Facebook page. And hey, if you'd like, check out our blog where we have regular content. I just wanted to say hello. I just wanted to say that I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here. And thank you for trusting us with your time as you're checking out this content and you're learning and moving forward with your business as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next video or one of our trainings. I didn't sell anything, but many times you can get a video view like that for 3 or 4 cents. Brian gets it for a penny. So now Brian can get a like cost relatively low. He's getting someone to look at 1 or 2 of his posts on a weekly basis by doing a boost post. Now he set up a very specific ad to welcome people to his page. And it's not, hey, thank you for liking us. It's, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Remember, it's not all of you guys. Talk to one person. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to be starting to boost this. We're going to start boosting engagement. We may find blog posts that seem to relate well with people. We may find videos that seem to relate well with people. Now's the next step. This is where it gets exciting. This is what we're going to call a high relevant boost post. Now, the high relevant boost post means we're going to look through all of those boost posts we did over the last couple of weeks, right? We've qualified people to like our page. Out of the free content, some of the free content seemed to do well. That's what we did, a boost post just to our likes, for $5 a day for 3 days. They saw this welcome content, so they're being indoctrinated in this process. Now we're going to find what was the most relevant boost post. Now I'm going to target that boost post. This is a little bit more advanced strategy, but very effective. You're going to be able to target either that post or content, retarget it to website clicks, likes, or all the previous conversions. So now what you're doing is you're expanding that relevant content to anybody who's visited your website, anybody who's visited a video view, because video views are so cheap. You're retargeting now with content. You're not sending them straight to the website. Keep in mind, again, this can be done for $20 or $30 total a day to do all the steps that you were looking at right here to start building your audience. Here's what starts to happen. What many people have, and you may too, is an opt-in sequence where people land on a landing page. If they don't opt in, they don't get emails. If they do opt in, they do get emails, but if you only have a 10-day follow-up process and after 10 days, they don't get emails. If you're running the process for what I'm showing right here, very critical. This is almost like an automatic autoresponder for people who hit your website or became a lead. Now people who like your page, who visit your website, who are a lead, who are a sale, they're all seeing relevant content for you. You should be seeing right now how we can start building relevance. And I'm going to show you in numbers, when you build your relevance score high, you can quickly test ads and quickly scale ads. Watch this. This is one of my favorite parts. So let's say now that we've qualified content, let's say that on a Dalmatian, we have found this cute Dalmatian picture that has a picture of this dog necklace that we really want to present. We're like, we want to try this, selling this dog necklace. And we found that this post seems to work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create an ad with that dog, with that image, with that same copy. We may have to change the copy just a little bit, but it's fine tuning. And we're going to run that advertisement, a website click, We're going to run that advertisement to just the people who like our page. That's it. Now, typically, depending on your page size, if you're going to run ads to your page, you're going to have 3,000 or 4,000 fans at least to kind of start getting started. Maybe for $5 a day, above 2,000 fans. But I'm telling you, you will start to earn your weight in gold if you start running a like campaign, figuring out what your relevant posts are, and literally just get a couple of thousand fans to a fan page, learn what content they like. It's going to save you so much time in creating the ads and so much heartache. I'm telling you, and it'll save you a lot of money. So what we do is, let's say we want to test out this new funnel of that dog necklace. So now I'm going to run an ad that has a high probability of engagement. I'm going to run that website click ad directly back to our like audience. Now, a lot of times what I'm going to find is the most relevant scorers right here, the lowest cost per website click. I'm going to see some really low cost conversions. I should, but this is going to allow me to test my funnel for, let's say, a dog collar, maybe $50 a day for 3 days, maybe $100 a day for 3 days. But I know that I'm targeting somebody that's highly qualified, that has seen our content. I know the ad that we're running is qualified content. Thus, this should really qualify my ad, but I don't have to spend thousands of dollars to figure it out. I know what should be working right away. Now, if that ad works right, just to back to my like page, just to my fans, if that works right there, now I'm going to start to target that dog necklace offer to anybody who's visited my website. Now, if I'm using the example of a dog collar for a Dalmatian, let's just say you have an e-commerce site. That would mean you're going to start rolling out to all website clicks of anybody who's visited any of your pages related to Dalmatians, right? Somebody who's doing maybe a coaching offer, maybe just able to retarget all website clicks because they're talking about coaching. But like in e-commerce, you've already proved that you're selling some dog collars. Now you just retarget only the people who've been to your dog collar page. Now, here's what ends up happening that makes it really great. This is going to be really, really good. So, and I have a couple of questions coming in here. Happy to answer them here in just a second. Nick, thank you for sending me over these questions. I'm going to answer these here in just a moment. I just want to make sure I don't lose track, but in the next 2 slides, I'll answer some of the questions here. Now, the golden ads. A golden ad, this is where the testing really starts to take place to a cold audience. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an ad based off what's been successful in this ad here and here. And the ad that I'm going to create, the image and the copy, has already obviously been tested throughout this process. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to start targeting cold traffic. I'm going to use this ad and I'm going to target the place where we are getting our best likes. Now, typically, this is going to be a lookalike audience or an affinity audience, okay? So we talk about affinity audiences inside of our training, Social Media Ad Genius. If you haven't seen that, we'll talk about that in a minute. By the way, I'm going to do something we've never done before here in just a couple of minutes. This will be really interesting, and I'm not asking you to buy anything today either. It's very interesting what we're going to do here. You'll see in just a second. But what we do is when you start targeting those affinity audiences or lookalike audiences, when you build the lookalike audiences right, what we see is you see a really high relevance score and really low cost per click. Because see, here's what ends up happening is now that we know that this is a qualified ad, or it should be because we've tested it already, the image and the copy, and now as we're targeting a place where we know that we're getting likes, right? So the place, the pool that we're getting these people from, right? We already know that they're qualified, that they like the content. So now when I'm setting up my retargeting, once someone opts in or hits the landing page or goes to my sales page, now I know this is my perfect traffic. My perfect traffic. Perfect. And by the way, let's just say one of these ads don't work. Well, let me show you this. I want to answer any questions before I get in what happens if you don't apply this right. Let me see if there are any questions here. So when you say boost to your likes, is that fans who like a certain interest or a custom audience? That is a great question. When you do your first boost post right here, you're only going to boost that post to just the people who like your page. That's it. Because if you do it if you do a boost post and content on a regular basis, this like audience right here is going to be highly qualified. Now, once you find a post that seems to work really well, you move over to what we call this high relevant boost post. That high relevant boost post, that is the post that you target to a custom audience like website clicks or a custom audience of video views. Really, really brilliant question. Thank you so much. Now, the other thing is Okay, there's another question here, not a problem. Am I missing something? Do you retarget your Facebook post to people who have clicked on your website? Absolutely. That's one of the questions that we just had before. So you're building up custom audiences for retargeting. So one of the things that we love to do is email our list on a regular basis, like many of you. We like to keep you informed. Well, an email isn't just the only way to contact with someone, because email open rates are real low these days, click-through rates, deliverability. So what we do is we find high relevant boost posts and we keep retargeting to people who visited our website, because we want to make sure people who visit our website see our ads and our content on a really regular basis. These are such great questions. Do you set the golden ad to be a clicks to website or conversion objective? Ooh, Joel, this is a great question. Now, this is more advanced, and I'm going to get into the advanced training here in just a little bit. But what's very critical, never run optimized for conversion ads until you have at least run a golden ad and you have seen at least, I would say 25 conversions, 25 opt-ins. I like to see 100 opt-ins or 25 sales. But here's what I do. I only ever run website clicks. Here's the thing. If you qualify your avatar this way, you want to send website clicks to the golden ad to pre-qualify and season that pixel. So many people try to jump in bed with the pixel right away, or so many people try to optimize for conversion when they test out an ad. Facebook doesn't know what to optimize for. So build content this way, use website clicks, start building up conversions, set up your retargeting, and then test and optimize for a conversion campaign. Super smart question. Great question, everybody. Now, here's something that's critical. The typical launch or the typical evergreen strategy. What a lot of people do, and you may have done this too, and again, this will be a problem you will no longer have after today. But what a lot of people will do is they will set up ads and they'll pick out an audience, they'll pick out their ad copy, they'll pick out their title, and they start targeting website clicks. And then they hear a webinar on retargeting. By the way, when we look at our blog and all the videos that we have on YouTube, retargeting is one of the most interesting subjects where people watch more video and consume more content than anything else. The problem is most people don't understand it. They feel that retargeting audience is expensive. Yes, you're going to pay more for a retargeting audience. However, if it's properly segmented, you're targeting your perfect customer. But what a lot of people do is they'll run ads straight to a website click, or what a lot of people do, because they just don't know, they'll set up an ad, choose a target, get the copy, get the ad, use website conversions. They're not getting conversions. They set up retargeting. Retargeting is expensive. Then they retarget their website clicks, and here's the problem. People don't know, is it the audience that does not work? Is it the audience and targeting? Is it the ad copy? Is it the picture? Is it the landing page? Is it the opt-in page? Is it the sales page? Is it the retargeting? With my strategy I'm showing you right here, you know the next step. Don't be like everybody else out there that throws a bunch of crap at a website and then shuts traffic down to guess. The most important thing that you can do is keep running traffic. And I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. Now, Mikey just asked a question. How do you retarget your Facebook posts to people who have clicked on your website? So, Mike, you're going to set up from the Facebook pixel. It will say it's a custom audience. So retarget all website visitors. So you'll go inside of your ads manager, run a boost post engagement, or it's called an engagement post, and you're going to target that specific post, that high engagement boost post. You're going to target that to all website visitors. It's a custom audience. Again, this is more detail we can get inside of the training. I want to keep the training at a high level so everyone's learning and progressing. How long is the process from qualifying the avatar to determine the high relevance? The green boxes, is that 30 days? Many times you'll see it in 3 to 5 days. Sometimes you just need to figure out kind of the next relevance as you're testing. It doesn't have to last for 30 days at all. That's the great thing. With just Brian, we did it in just 15 days. See, the thing is when you start running these offers, you're going to start building an audience that's highly qualified. And the way that we're targeting, watch this. Let's just say our sales funnel doesn't work. Let's just say that we started to run some leads and opt-ins and we tried to scale and it didn't work. Most people shut down their traffic. They lose all momentum. However, if you're always running a light campaign, which you should, posting free content on a regular basis by the ways that we show you, doing two boost posts a week, welcoming people into your fold, into your tribe, into your community, into your content, figuring out your best boost post that you're retargeting all that website traffic that you ran right here, you're retargeting with content. So like Brian, when he made over $17,000 this month, when his funnel didn't work, when all of this was shut off, Brian did a Facebook Live. You can do a blog, you can do a post, but Brian likes to do a Facebook Live. And Brian stands up and says, hi, everyone. If you're interested in nutrition, who we targeted, and you've loved watching my video on the purple sweet potato, confirmed with free content, boost post, that was the highest relevant boost post. That was the best ad that ran to the likes, to the website visitors. So we know that people are interested in the purple sweet potato. They just didn't buy for some reason. Now Brian does another video that says, hey, we know you may have been interested in the purple sweet potato and carbohydrates. What I have for you today is a very special offer. I don't usually work one-on-one coaching people, but for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to take on 10 people that he made a splinter offer. He did an offer on a live Facebook feed that he didn't have to sell or sound sleazy. He didn't have to have a sales page. He did a boost post for 3 days to run that special offer for $10 a day for 3 days, $30. In those 3 days, without a sales funnel, Brian was able to close over $1,200 in business. Brian's been able to close over $10,000 of business a month for the last 3 months by just getting people to call him from splinter offers. You may have an extra video, you may have an extra lead. This is one of the most powerful things that I can show you, because for pennies, you can get in front of your offer or your people again with another offer. Now, just something I want you to consider. When you really start looking at this content ascension model that I'm showing you, you can extend content distribution with Google retargeting options. What happens is when you find these high relevant posts, and this is a little bit more, this is more advanced in the expert level, but I just want to share this because we do this with our clients. When we find stuff that's really relevant, we want to make sure that our people see it everywhere. So what we do is we make sure that our retargeting and segmented off, our audiences are segmented out. So we're only going to show people who go to a sales page a certain type of content, like testimonials. We're not going to show testimonials to someone who hasn't opted in yet. That's not a value add. But now what we're doing is we're highly qualifying the audience, and at any time we want, we can snap off a splinter offer. Anytime that, for example, there's a holiday coming up, you want to make an offer for 3 days, you literally create an ad that you know is pretty relevant. Just target your existing audience. You don't even have to use a cold market, and you can profit big on specials and holidays. So step one, qualify your avatar. I'm going to run out of time here pretty quick, but I want to show you this. Step one is really qualifying your avatar. Get as many qualified likes for the lowest cost possible with the highest relevant score. So we're going to make sure we're targeting the perfect customer. So as they're engaging with our page, we're going to qualify them with content. All right, and I know I got a couple of questions. I'm going to answer them in just a second. Step two, post content for relevance. Remember, all we're going to do is we're going to provide our like audience with relevant, engaging, and consistent content. This process will assist in discovering the most relevant content for your avatar. We're just looking to see where the algorithm starts to pick up content a little bit. Remember, we're only focusing on relevance here. Now, step three, we want to qualify content. The way we're going to qualify content, we're going to see how people are engaging with the content. We're going to allow Facebook's algorithm to move some content in front of more people for whatever reason, but we're going to find out what people in Facebook likes to basically, we're going to see what posts Facebook liked to share more than anything else. So we're going to discover the most relevant and engaging posts that align with your advertising objectives. Twice per week, we're boosting posts of high-performing page posts. Now, next step. Welcome your like audience. Now, this is really important, but I'm going to look over for a second. I know there was one other question I wanted to make sure I address, because right now we're talking about engagement, and this next process, it's not required, but it's a really nice to have to make sure you're welcoming new people to your page. The question is are you doing front-end like campaign process for different audiences to see which audiences are most responsive? I absolutely am doing that. You are absolutely right. One of the things that we do, though, is I focusing on a large like audience. So for instance, like Brian, I can go ahead for $25 a day. I can run that like campaign between now and which we have the last 90 days. I don't have to split test. I have split test already. I know that his likes are 10 cents. Yours may be 50 or maybe $1. But we know consistently that we can get 10-cent likes, and I can get that at $25, $50, $75 a day, and I don't have to split test a lot. In the early on as you're setting this up, you do want to split test your audiences, but ideally you want to be able to have a like audience that's large enough that you can kind of set it and forget it. Just allow the likes to come in, work on your engagement, and then work on your ads.
These are just great questions for everybody. I really appreciate this. Another question is, so do you integrate your ad for your e-com product with a highly relevant boost post?
Yes, so we can do that with dynamic ads as well too. But one of the things is we use custom audiences to say, make sure people who are on this page but didn't go to this page see the specific content. And again, if that's a little bit more advanced for some other people on this, it's okay. We'll cover this more in the training in a minute. Let's talk about the welcome like audience. Now, as people are starting to like your page, what we want to make sure that they're doing is that they understand who you are and what you're doing. A video can really help build rapport, but just an engagement post can as well too. Remember, this is welcoming people over to your page. This is just to say, hey, here's a post or a video that's targeted to newly acquired likes. Again, it's something you can set for $5 a day and just let it run. This post video will align with your avatar and your brand, your message, your overall objective. What are the next steps? The next step is to determine your high relevant post. This is which one of your boost posts are the best. Which one of your boost posts seem to do more than anything else? You're going to provide congruent and relevant content to all website visitors. This is going to get really exciting. And conversions. Expand boost posts and audiences with a focus on relevance, congruence, and low cost per action. Next step, create a golden ad for the like audience. See what's going to happen now we're going to test our ad. We're going to test our ad for the very small audience that we've been building, or it depends on how big your like campaign is. But now we're going to start testing that ad to a small audience. So we don't need much ad budget. It could be just $10 or $20 a day. We're not testing to a cold market because we're confident what we're testing. We're going to begin with a website click campaign targeted to your like audience only, website clicks. Website click campaign will send avatar over to a call to action or conversion page. This is the first step in acquisition testing for a call to action or conversion. This process will usually provide initial testing of the sales funnel and typically sending the most qualified avatar into the funnel at the lowest price. All right, now we're going to expand that golden ad. We've tested it from the likes. The next thing that we're going to begin with is a website click objective to all website visitors, excluding previous conversions. So if we're advertising, let's just say a sales funnel for a Dalmatian necklace, or a dog collar, we want to make sure that we're not advertising to people who already bought that dog collar. But I'm going to test this golden ad directly to people who have looked at things about Dalmatians, but I'm going to exclude people who purchased that. That collar already. Next one. The next step is where we take this golden ad and we start to shine it to that cold audience. See, we've pre-qualified the content. We know where the content is. Now to answer that other question is, here you split testing out lots of like audiences. The bigger the like audience I can be, the bigger pool that I know. When my golden ad is ready, I can target it to that bigger audience. This is where it gets exciting and you start to be able to scale. Begin testing golden ad with website click objectives. This is where we got Brian down to 10 cents a qualified click back to his website. And you want to target these audiences where you're acquiring the most qualified or lowest cost likes. Now, again, if you're building your fan page right from the beginning, if you're building the fan page with your core audience, affinity audience, pretty soon you'll start to build a lookalike audience. Build your page to a couple thousand likes, create a lookalike audience, and that may be one of your best ways to scale for your golden ads. Now that we have golden ads running, set up your retargeting. And again, all this can happen in literally under 15 days as you start seeing engagement. This will make huge strides to your marketing. Because once we have the retargeting funnel set up, we can create posts and blogs and videos to assist with content and urgency in the conversion process. We want to retarget based on segmentation and action. Focus on relevance, congruency, and next steps in the conversion process. My favorite part, if something goes wrong, if the offer doesn't work, if your ad testing didn't work for the week or didn't work for 2 weeks, you don't stop like everybody else does, cry about it and say Facebook doesn't work and buy a course or hire someone else. What you do is you just make a splinter offer. You get in front of these highly qualified people and you say, hey, For a limited time offer, you're going to be able to get to do, if you don't know what your splinter offer is, I'm happy to give you suggestions. I can easily come up with splinter offers all day long to help you out. And we're going to give you the resources to show you how to do that too. Basically, we want to take a look. Do you have any payment plans for past offers? Maybe sections of an offer? What about just retargeting additional buyers for additional upsell? What about offering a quiz, segment offers? What about leveraging this process if a landing page or sales funnel isn't working? Brian didn't have a sales funnel last month. He did run some website clicks, but we're fixing it. What Brian didn't do is he didn't turn off his traffic. That's how he has right now today over 36,000 likes on his page when he started with 1,000 over 60 days ago. We're only talking 60 days. Where was your business at 60 days ago? Now, I want to tell you here real quick, we've made this process really simple. So what's happened is you see this entire process right here. I'm gonna come out of the screen here for just a second. I want to just show you one other. Here's what Nick and I have done for you. We've done something really special. We haven't really done this before. Where's this? It's a little different. All right. What we've done is we've recorded this entire process for you in a very simple video that you can click down over here. And essentially what this is, it'll go a little bit too slow. Move this here just like that. What this entire process basically is it's a simple visual concept where I go over everything that I just did right here, step by step. So you can see, okay, so here's where we go to the conversion pages. Because by the way, we don't hand out this presentation to the public because it's a 10,000-foot view, but it's not detailed. And like people will take action today from this information. However, what we found is if I can give you a document like this that's step by step, what I do, because I don't have time on the training, is I show, okay, here's where we retarget when you're ready, for example, if you were to use YouTube. So we give you an example. We say, hey, target website clicks, video views. But the big thing is we go through the case study that you saw right here with Brian Johnson. Here's the exact step-by-step. So everything that I just said visually, we have written down for you step-by-step. So discover the most relevant engagement. Your goal CPA should be 25 cents. So we've outlined this entire presentation. Now, I've recorded this in under the time it is to watch your favorite TV show, if you like to do that. What I've done is I've broken the entire process down that I walk you step by step on how all of this works. And what we do is we want to make it really easy for you. So depending on when you've seen this, you probably had a couple of different options. When you opted in for the webinar, I know we just kind of added this on. You may have seen a little video that basically just said, hey, there are 3 things that I want you to pay attention to when you're really looking at this golden ad strategy. And what it is for $7, some people may have already purchased step by step exactly what the presentation is, and they got that entire video, again, for less the time they had watched a sitcom for, but you may have already checked that out. But here's what we want to do for everybody here. There are some people who are already in our social media ad genius community, some people who aren't. Again, I said I'm not selling you anything today whatsoever. It is completely up to your choice. You will find, I'll show you a link in a second. If you're not a part of our family, Nick and I are going to give you a free 14-day trial just to check us out. I'll tell you what the price is after that in just a minute. It's really an investment because it's really simple. But what I like to have people do is, Nick and I were talking about this, is we really want to lead by example. And we have for years, and some people just make up in their own mind that they need to have a trial or a certain price to check something out. We want to make this so simple that it's not a decision of can I afford this today? It's an IQ test of how can I really improve my business? See, we created Social Media Ad Genius over the last 5.5 years to help brick and mortar businesses, event promotions, live events, direct sales, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, a whole gamut of people, almost 40 different industries. We've refined the process because we've spent, now that I think about it, it's close to over $10 million in ads. So starting today, my success can be your success, and it's really quite simple. These are some people. Brian Finale has a company that's done over $30 million online. Leslie worked for somebody who's done over $100 million online. Steve Jaffe is someone who consistently is doing over 5 figures a month in his own business. And you can see what other people are saying about me. The whole thing is when we start taking a look at this, I love what people say when they say, hey, Kurt, your program's set up for newbies and more advanced folks. Noobs want to go through the entire training from start to finish. Advanced folks go straight for the advanced strategies, which are easy to find with the new site layout. Here's the thing. I could teach you exactly what button to hit. You know how frustrating it is when the buttons move because Facebook makes another change. But if I show you the strategy, if I show you the way to think about how it works, You'll never worry where the buttons go because the buttons don't matter. The strategy is what matter. What so many people are caught on doing is training exactly what button to hit, and they miss the whole boat by explaining the strategy. If I show you how to fish, it doesn't matter what hook it is for the most part, right? You're going to know which one to choose. It doesn't matter if they change. So what we do is we give you step-by-step videos. We break everything down in modules. Everything that I showed you for the Golden Ad Experience, you can learn right from the webinar. Or when you go over to the link I'm about to give you, for just $7, you can get the entire presentation, the entire long video that's, like I said, as long as the sitcom that walks you through everything. But these trainings will show you how to go out and qualify your avatar. It'll help you download a mind map on exactly where to move next. We have additional modules. We also have live trainings and screen shares that we hold at least once a week. See, what happens is we have video step-by-step training of each process that I showed you, but we also show qualifying your avatar, retargeting, step-by-step, resource links, next video, downloads, resources, lessons, modules. See, it's all broken down. Now, you can use this for your business. You can give this to one of your employees. You can have a friend or family help you with your business. Again, we're going to give you step-by-step, not just the directions, but I want to tell you how the additional support we're going to give you as well, too. Because see, there's 4 different levels of ad training here. You're going to get just getting started. If you've never run an ad before, it's okay. You have getting started, beginner, intermediate, and genius trainings. Also, access to exclusive Insiders Club. This is where we meet once a week. You can post your questions in the forum or look up questions that are in the forum for stuff I've answered before, or once a week, have me look over your ads. I'll look over your ads. An engagement with us in the agency is a minimum of $5,000. Meet with me once a week inside of a group, and it can be highly inexpensive, literally one of the least expensive trainings and support mechanisms you will have installed for your business. Discover other digital advertising platforms that you should test after you run successful Facebook ads. We're going to show you how to learn how to identify the target customers that are most likely to buy. We're also going to give you the digital marketing mindset. Look, I could show you the exact buttons to push, but if you don't know how to think about ads, like what to think about next, you got to think of the entire ecosystem. You just can't hit one button over and over and think it's going to solve your problems. You got to know how the ecosystem works. It's a mindset. Also, how to set up sales funnel structure. I've helped produce hundreds of millions of dollars online. I know exactly how sales funnels are supposed to look for the best optimizations. We're going to give you deep dive training on the Facebook Ads Manager, a Power Editor, Dark Post, split testing, additional platforms. And by the way, one of my favorite things to do is to hang out with really smart people. Like I said yesterday, I was in a room of 5 people, one who just went to the Singularity University to meet with billionaires, another one who was early 30s with a company in 3 years that did over $100 million. I sat with someone else right next to me who in the next couple of years is on track to buy the Cleveland Indians. Like, these are the people we hang around with. I have interviews that you can learn from those people as well. So learn how to advertise from online from an agency with experts that are doing it every single day. You're going to receive more than 100 training videos, but we're going to break this down so we make it easy. What I want you to do is not buy courses. I want you to implement and have success. I'm going to show you step by step how that happens. So the free 14-day trial is really easy. So you go to smag2.com/free-trial, or maybe a drop-down link that you see somewhere, depending where you're watching the video or how we have it set up. Here's the thing I want to tell you. You're going to get 2 options. What's going to happen is you are going to put in your credit card number for the 14-day free trial. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So if for any time you think during the 14 days that it's not for you, it's over your head, it's beneath you, whatever you feel, I know this has worked for thousands of other people. So I'm just going to open this up I just want to open it up for you so you can see exactly what everybody else has been bragging about. Once you enter in your credit card information, you're going to have the option with a little tick box. If you would like to pay $7 and get that whole presentation that I just showed you step by step with that entire video, well, you're welcome to for $7. Or if you just want to go ahead and try out our trial for 14 days, you can go ahead and cancel it anytime you would like within that 14 days. Or after that 14-day trial, it's just $97 a month. Or we'll have a limited time special for you too, but it's $497 for the year. See, listen, don't judge right now or take advantage of our unconditional triple guarantee. Here's what we have. Try it out for absolutely for free for 14 days. Again, if you would like to download the presentation for $7, there's a little checkbox. That's great. But if you don't, that's fine. Try out the trial for 7 days. You get started where you feel that's going to benefit for you. Even after the 14-day trial, if you get billed and 30 days later, you decide that you just don't like it. You don't like the sound of my voice. You don't like our attention to customer service or to your satisfaction. You can go ahead and cancel at any time. It's not about your money. It's about a community that we have online. Well, we're going to make this as really simple and easy. All you have to do is click on the link, or you'll see the link right here, smag2.com/free-trial. We've never done a free trial. Again, you enter in your credit card information. It's absolutely free, 14-day trial. If you would like, again, that $7 presentation, you just click that extra button. Otherwise, it's not required. And then after 14 days, once you find the value, once you see how you will easily save $97 a month on ad spend by our training and asking questions to me directly, you're going to easily see why it's for you from month to month. Now, remember, you can cancel at any time. Some people stay with us for 3 months and they really learn a lot of stuff, and then they trail off on their own. Some people go for 6 months. Some people have been with us for years. Some of our best customers have been with us for years. And now I got to tell you, one of my most favorite things to do is when I go out and I speak on stage or I get to travel, is I love when I get to walk into a room and someone goes, "Hey, Kurt, you don't know me, but about 3 years ago, I joined Social Media Ad Genius 1.0, and then you gave us 2.0, and then you gave us this other free training, and this other free training. Like, you changed my life. Like, you have no idea, but we have people who have been with us for years. And they've been with us for years because of the content, because of the community, because of the step-by-step process. And really, once you go see that next page, you can become part of our community too. And then you're on to becoming a social media ad genius as well and hanging out with all the greatest families online. So you can go ahead and see the link here. I'm going to answer questions here in just a second. Nick, I'll come back in camera here in just a moment to help answer some of these questions. I just had one or two other things to go over. But again, there's that trial. Like I said, you're going to have an option to download for $7 that presentation. If you haven't already done that already, we just want to give you the tools to succeed. And what it helps us to do these presentations, quite honestly, as we're giving these presentations and you buy these little $7 offers, it helps for us to pay for ad spend to give more live trainings and insight just like this. Again, this is something that we're going to teach you inside of our training. Just so much fun to do. So let me go ahead and take a look over here just one last time. Here's what people are saying right before I get into questions. By the way, this is really important, especially from Valerie. Guys, I bought Smag and I want to say thank you. Still muddling through the Power Editor a bit, but I'm using what I've learned and my ads are performing. I kind of want to teach a class called Facebook for 50-year-olds because thanks to you, Amy Porterfield and a few others, I know more about Facebook marketing than people half my age. Thank you. That's exactly what we're looking for. Phil, hey, that have been doing online since 2002. Seen a lot of people come and go. I'm rarely moved to pass or comment judgment, but it's exceptionally refreshing to see a process broken down in such a way. I truly wish you all the success in your launch, but I suspect you don't need it, which I just love. Here's some great friends of mine. If you know people in the online marketing world, you're going to know some of these names. Hey, did you? Yeah, well, you can read the comments. Even some huge internet marketers are praising the training material inside Social Media Ad Genius. I can neither confirm or deny the statements of my good friend Justin Brick and Keith Baxter. I love those guys. So here's everything that you're going to get. You're going to get a 14-day free trial to Social Media Ad Genius 2.0 for a test run. And if you like what you see, if you truly see the value and you're truly getting value out of it, then the membership's just $97 a month and you can cancel at any time. And by the way, if you want to upgrade for the full year, we have a lot of customers who do that. We'll give you a discount for that. We'll talk about that later. You're also going to get lifetime access to the trainings and all the updates. So as long as you're paying, you're going to see as we update the training. Now, I do want to tell you, we do not update the training the day that something else comes out new. We want to test and verify, improve, and go over and just scrutinize in a couple of different niches before we start to really tell you about the new advances. I think informing our mass public, or us informing our students of the latest and greatest trick, is irresponsible unless we've tested it and been able to train it. Very important. Also, Insiders Club membership. You're going to get access to me in the Insiders Club, along with Nick as well too. Now, you might not know this if you don't know Nick. He's brilliant at looking over design, funnel structure, tracking. Absolutely brilliant. He designs all of our websites, all of our membership areas. There's a lot to learn about membership areas that you can learn from Nick. Again, no a money back guarantee, no questions asked. Oh, this is one unannounced bonus that I forgot to mention too. You're going to get a one-on-one call with our resident expert, Jeff Schechter. Now, people love Shecky. Many times people say, look, I would pay for an entire year just to talk to Shecky. You're going to get a one-on-one call, and this is not, hey, look, did you open up the training? Hey, okay, I got some more for you to buy. Shecky is going to learn about your business, help prepare about your business. Shecky is one of the most refreshing calls you're going to have to really help get started and kick this off. So again, there's the free trial, 14-day, no-risk free trial. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and start reading over the questions now. Nick, I'll come right back on camera here in just a second. I just want to leave that link up there. I've got a question here. Hey, you're talking about somebody who's working with you doing a nutritional product, but I thought Facebook doesn't allow nutritional ads. No, that's not true at all. I'm going to spend over $100,000 on running nutritional ads. It all depends on how you set it up, the likes, the engagement, from the engagement to the opt-in to the follow-up. So it is unequivocally absolutely possible. Nick, I'm looking over here. I know that you may be typing another question here. I'm going to come back live on the camera. Does that work for you, or would you like me to cover any specific place? You're welcome to come off mute.
You can come back on camera.
All right, so let's go ahead and grab that and see turn off and 1 second.
And there should be a direct link. Should be a direct link button there on the right side of everybody's screen too. So,
oh, great.
That helps.
Well, good. So let's see here. See if there's any additional questions. I think you sent me over the questions. Man, we have so much engagement here. Look at all these people that are here. This is great, Nick. Oh, this is so happy. Do you mind sharing the visual comment, the visual concept image here? I'm not quite sure which one Kevin was looking for. Do you know which one that was?
Yeah,
Nick?
we already took care of it. I talked to him.
This is why I love working with Nick. All right, so lots. Man, these are great comments in here. Wow, there are from people from all over in here. This is great. Richard, there is not a Facebook group that we have right now inside of Facebook. One of the things we worried about in the past and dealt with in the past is groups closing. So we like to keep everything inside of our site for right now. There's a lot of different other reasons behind that, but we're building out the inside of our site so people can easily search through the information. We love Facebook groups, but the way that we like to position information and search for information, it's all in the back of our website. Really great question. Another question. Hey, can we get the presentation if we are already in Social Media Ad Genius 2.0? So what I did tell Nick before, I'll have to ask Nick about this because what the Golden Ads presentation is for our scaled members. So I always give it out to the scaled members, or for $7, people can buy the presentation. Nick, what should we do for current? I always like to take care of our current SMAG members. What do you think? We'll have to figure that one out. There's going to be technical issues around that because it goes through purchase. We'll figure that one out. Good question.
I think, Kurt, I think any of the ones that attended today, we'll just go ahead and send it to them a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, the thing is, what I always wrestle with is like, if you typically give something for, this is good for your business, by the way, too. If you typically give something for free, most of the time it doesn't get used. But if you reward good actions, like people showing up like yourself to a live webinar, asking a brilliant question, getting a return, I think that's absolutely fair. So yeah, thank you. I'm happy to reward for your participation. And again, if you haven't already done so, make sure you check out the trial. I mean, we've used, how long has social media just been around? A little over 3 years. I guess it was started in March, 3 years ago. And my life's completely changed. I mean, Nick, now you're in the Bridges Estates with a couple of kids, and the people that we've met and the people who've used this strategy is just unbelievable. Love it. I don't want to say unbelievable because it is believable, and it's really not that difficult, even for somebody who didn't really comb their hair today. Looks great.
Yeah, you know,
Nick, any other thoughts? You want to come on camera?
Wait.
You want to come on camera for one more second? We see your beautiful face.
I guess I could do that. So, you know, one thing we just kind of touched on when you were going over some of the things that come with Social Media Ad Genius that wasn't, I think, is of the biggest value. The trainings are great. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of them, but just being a part of the Insiders Club, I think, is probably worth, you know, $1,000, $2,000 a year, probably more. We probably should charge more. But just to outline what being part of the Insiders Club, which comes with your the free trial, comes with your membership to Social Media Ad Genius. There's a forum where you can search through past questions or ask questions to Kurt and I or any of the current Social Media Ad Genius members. We also do weekly Monday web hangouts, I guess, like this, where we have different subjects every week. Those are only public for a week or so, and then we hide them, but they're always available to the Insiders Club. There's a whole recording section with, I don't know, probably close to 80 videos or so that's got that. It's got our Insiders Club live webinars that we do each and every Wednesday that's only Insiders Club members to ask questions. We go through all the forum questions. We go through questions live. And a lot of times, if there is time, people who have real specific questions about their ads, their campaigns, their funnel, whatever it may be, Kurt will actually do a screen share with you, talk with you right there, and we'll break down everything and then try to figure out, where things are going wrong. Unbelievable value. I mean, you consider we charge upwards of $500 an hour for consulting at times, and this is a way to get that at a fraction of the cost, really. So
it's always interesting, Nick, and then somebody has a question about scale. I want to answer it. It's so interesting when I travel and I talk to people, and you hear people throw out, well, we charge $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour. And I'm always kind of like, do you just say that just to make it sound like it's more expensive? The thing that I love about this business that Nick and I do with digital products and the agency and the networking that we do, we only work 8 to 10 hours a day because we love this thing, right? But there's only so many hours that you have in the day. So you have to be really selective where you spend time. Now, one of my favorite things to do is I like to help brands really launch on a big national platform. And I like to be able to influence and change lives in doing that. So I have to come to a realization, Nick and I have talked about this before, it's disrespectful to our clients that pay us to work like on a launch where they're paying us a big check if I'm working with lots of people for free. However, I can get everybody on a phone call for an hour or two once a week. I'm happy to share all that information, but individual, it makes it just really hard and spread really, really, really thin. So I agree with you, Nick. I love the Insiders Club and talking with people, the insiders. A question that we had over here from Ryan is, what is the difference between SMAG and scale? So great question. Big inspiration between SMAG and scale. Let me tell you why. So social media ad genius, it's really for anybody who's just getting started out, intermediate, or expert level. Let me explain. If you're just getting started out, social media ad genius beginner level, great. Intermediate, you're learning how to do some split tests. You're learning how to think about split tests, how to start doing some scaling a little bit, getting a little bit more fine-tuned. Now, when you go to the expert level, I'm going to talk a lot more about lookalike audiences, layering the pixel, layering the conversion pixel, seasoning the conversion pixel. Some of these terms people know inside of the training. But for instance, some of the friends where I go to a mastermind, like let's just say I'm in one mastermind that's $30,000 a year. We meet 3 times a year. My friends in that mastermind are probably spending $100,000 plus a year online. They go inside of the genius section and they start taking a look at the lookalike audiences, layering the audiences, and some of those additional tips when you start scaling. Now, what I found was, even after a couple of years of having social media ad genius, I found a lot of people asking me questions. Okay, Kurt, I know about boost posts and likes and scaling website traffic, but how do I really scale traffic? I mean, if I really want to take my business from I'm running $50 a day or $25 a day, how do I go to $200 a day? Like, how do I really scale your business? What we found is it was a different set of skills from learning Facebook, implementing those strategies, to really scaling your business. Now, really scaling your business is perspective. So I'm not saying that you're going to take your business from $50 a day to $5,000, but Nick knows this since we've worked together. It's like, as we're running stuff, especially like when we were running for Social Media Ad Genius 1.0, when we were running ads on Facebook, there comes to be a certain time where you put $1 in, you get $1.25 back out. All of a sudden you look behind your left shoulder, you spent $65,000 last month, and you're like, wait a minute, because money was coming in and going out at the same time. It just looked like the same money was just dipping on in. But what we found was people would shut off traffic. They have all this momentum. They wouldn't know what to do next. So we created Scale to really focus on Facebook, YouTube, Google. It really worked for all platforms, but you go through a very specific 12-step process that helps scale out ads. And we give you support with some live calls with me, some additional group coaching, some live calls with Nick to set up tracking. So what we found is people typically who spend under $2,000 on Facebook, SMAG is great. People who really want that additional hand-holding, like I just got an email from one of our Scale students, Christina. She's like, hey, Kurt, thanks. I just love feeling like someone's in the back of my corner that I can just at least ask a question to. Because let's be honest, there's lots of trainings out there. There's lots of Google information. Hell, you can go to Facebook itself and they have information. But when you're looking at something, a conversion, pixel, layering, lookalike, sometimes just having someone to ask can make the biggest difference in your business. Especially, I'm just gonna be very open with you, especially like someone with myself who travels a lot, who hangs out with a lot of people, running a lot of traffic. We have a lot of students and a lot of people in our agency. A lot of times I know just by when you're talking and looking at your early numbers exactly what the problem is. And many times that's priceless. And I'll just be really open with you. I mean, we've had people inside of Nick, great example. This was about 7 weeks ago. Someone's like, hey, Kurt, I followed every step. Likes, boost post, everything. I'm spending I'm spending $2,500 a day and we're grossing $5,000 a day. This is huge because they follow the step-by-step process. But the thing was, here's the most important thing. And this is what we really developed Scale for, by the way, is so we can have the conversation is when people are like, my ads aren't working, we know specifically what they're not. I'm going to train you in SMAG on how to do everything. But I don't have the language component set up that says, okay, exactly on step 3, item 2, I'm having issues with, can you guys help me? That's the language and the step-by-step process we can really help take off your business. So another question I had in here is, okay, Nick, you got an email there, great. You mentioned Google retargeting. Is that part of the strategy when, or using the Facebook pixel? Good question. If you have experience in Google retargeting, it's not hard to set up, but if you have experience or YouTube, we highly recommend your extended boost post that you include that into your regular retargeting. Now, that's not something that we do a deep dive training in here. That is something that we are working on some of the trainings in the future. I just wanted to show people who are at the more advanced level, who are running some retargeting on Google or YouTube, that it's really quite simple to retarget that relevant content and have absolutely great results. So a skill of different membership course and a one-time special course. Great question. It's always interesting when we do these presentations because people ask questions either on SMAG, and I like to give people options to choose. I don't like people to be confused on what to do next, but I love to give people options to choose. So here's what Scale is really all about. Scale, over the last 6 months, Nick and I have had inside of a beta process. And what that is we've taken a group of people where we've taken them through the entire process. We are monitoring results, documenting out all the processes. And right now it's not released to the public. It depends on kind of your experience level, but we are looking for alphas. If you are interested, you can always send Nick an email or support at socialmedia@genius.com. It's the best way to say this. It is not open to the public that we openly promote right now because we're adjusting and working on some things. However, we have had a couple of people in my network to say, hey, Kurt, can I get access? If you're going to use it, you'll get access. I'm going to give you access. You're going to pay for access because I deserve it. You deserve it. And I want you to really take it seriously because this is one of the most badass trainings I've ever done, and it drives great results, and you're going to get great support from it. So if you're interested in really moving your business to that next new level, just send Nick or myself an email. Happy to help you out on it. I just don't have it open to the general public yet. I think what's probably going to happen, just to be completely honest with you, what's probably going to happen is we're probably not going to talk about Scale open publicly, but probably only the people who have been through Social Media Ad Genius. What Nick and I have found is we've found a higher success rate if they go into Scale, and then we say, okay, remember inside the Social Media Ad Genius training where we said do A, B, C, and D? Okay, perfect. Now let's move on. And so Nick and I still haven't really made that decision yet, but what I want to do more than anything else, I want to help businesses, small, medium, large, whatever, grow their business. I love to teach. Problem is I talk real damn fast and I want to get a lot of information at once. So Nick helps me really carefully of, hey, Kurt, how do we make sure that we're always a service to our clients? And how do we make sure we're not overwhelming them to be a disservice? So it's very, very important. Our trainings are really set up that way as well too. Does this work for e-commerce? Yeah, absolutely. This will work for e-commerce, especially depending on what niche you're in. I have a neighbor in the place that I live here upstairs, which is great. He's like, hey, I sell tweezers. Can this work? Engaging content. You can run website clicks and retargeting. It's just going to be a little bit more expensive. But I go, well, look, how many SKUs do you have? He's like, well, I got one SKU. Oh, I'm not quite sure how you can do boost posts about tweezers all day long, but you could. But for example, Ezra Firestone's a great friend, somebody that we've interviewed as well too. As I believe that he's even inside in one of the interviews that we may have. I remember the last time I interviewed him, it may have been over a year ago. But Ezra uses this type of concept all the time because he has lots of different SKUs. So for example, for like an e-commerce site, if you're talking about beauty, there's lots of pictures that you can share. There's lots of boost posts that you can do, and you can find out what images people like to click on and send them back over to your cart as well too. So absolutely, this can absolutely work for e-commerce. We've had lots of people use Social Media Ad Genius for e-commerce and Scale as well. So
the one caveat there, Kurt, is as long as you own the, I'm sorry, I got a bad echo. As long as you own the pages that you're sending traffic to, something like an Amazon, it's not going to really work real well for retargeting, since you can't control the pixels on the thank you pages.
Yeah, thank you for that. I guess I was referring to the strategy of the likes and the boost posts and stuff. Right. But Nick is right. We have a friend that has done, and a client who's done very, very well in a certain niche, and he moved from digital products to physical products. And with his physical products, I go, wow, you're running that all through Amazon? And this is just his opinion. He goes, Kurt, when I was drop shipping, I was making 10 to 15% margins. He goes, now I'm making 35 to 40% margins fulfilling myself. He goes, the nice thing that I like to be able to do, and he uses our training, now we can retarget because he's sending him to websites that he owns and then he controls to send them through the process. So there's lots of different ways that you can do it. The best advice that I love to give people in e-commerce, hey, look, if you're going to run it to your website, set up retargeting and everything else. If you don't want to make it complicated, run it to Amazon. The only complicated thing is, which people already run to Amazon know, is you're not going to be able to track to know exactly what ad is buying, which is a different situation. But you can definitely do the engagement and send people back. Always a different way to do it. So, Nick, I know we're about out of time. I got about 8 more minutes left. I have another call that I'm running up to. I want to make sure that everybody has seen the link. Everybody's had the option to at least check out the trial. I mean, I know I've said this before, and I mean it in all sincerity. And if you guys have seen me on trainings, or especially if you've ever met me in person, you know that, Nick, I truly care about your success. Now, I'm going to say a curse word here in a second, but please, if you get offended, it's okay. It's fine. I really don't give a shit about your money. We really don't care if you don't use the training. What I care about is you use the training. What I care about is I want an email that says, hey, Kurt, when I tried this worked really well. Or, hey, Kurt, when I tried this didn't work. But what I tell everybody on every single training we have is this is very, very, very important. And this is what I learned very early on. And Nick and I got a lot of professional coaching to really understand this. Every single day, we have the ability to choose. Every day. Every day that we get out of bed, we get to decide to choose on how we feel about the day. When we decide to brush our teeth or choose to go to the bathroom, we get to choose a lot of different things. What's going to happen is tomorrow or right after this presentation, you're going to go to the bathroom, you're going to wake up, you're going to get ready for your day. However you do that, by brushing your teeth, washing your face, taking a shower, working out, going to the bathroom, whatever. During that process that you go through every single day, you're typically thinking through your day of what you have the ability to choose on. Now, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and you're going to realize, man, these guys I saw yesterday, this is interesting. This is something that I really want to move forward with. I had the ability to choose for a 14-day trial or $7 to get their presentation. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. All I'm asking you to do is to perform on it. You know, it's very different when you're frustrated with your business. If your clicks aren't working, if your ads aren't working, if things just aren't working, and you're watching this video to make things work, and you wake up tomorrow morning, go to your routine, look in the mirror, look at your significant other, and you go, nothing's going to change. Not yesterday, not today, not tomorrow. Just going to see what I can do. Do something about it. Take action. I've seen the results. I can put a testimonial page in here. We've helped thousands of people around the world. I know it works. Pick up the free trial, check it out for 14 days, join a couple of our next upcoming live calls, get the $7 presentation. It's super easy. And let's start working with each other. Let's start talking about some more success stories. Nick, we're going to round out. We got just a couple more minutes left. Anything else?
I'll put the.
I know Joel says real deal. Thank you very much, Joe. Hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Great.
If you want to, just put that last slide up so that the link is available again. And
yep, I will do that. I bet a lot of people don't like to, let's see here. We'll put this up right here and we'll go to share and present to everyone, and everybody should see exactly what you're going to get. Which here, I'm going to put this because I just want to, like, we want to make this again. I mean this in no disrespectful way whatsoever, but Nick and I were talking about what could we do for a special offer that we haven't done in a, that we've actually just never done. And we were talking about the upcoming holiday. We were talking about kind of the celebrating social media ad genius, some of the updates we have and stuff like that. And Nick's like, well, why don't we just do a free trial? And I'm like, I'm trying to do a free trial. Like, a lot of people do $7 for 7 days. I saw one trial, then you're billed every week for this. We want to make it really simple. We want to put our money where our mouth is, dive in, check it out, click through all the trainings, process the whole thing, tell us what you think. And, you know, hey, if it doesn't work for you, I understand. I know it's worked for thousands of others, but some people just learn differently. But again, I would be more than honored to have you spend time with us, invest your time with us, invest your money with us, and find out how easily I can give you 1 or 2 tips that will pay for the entire year. Nick, anything else you want to comment on before we get out of here?
I think you said it all, my friend.
Yay. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you. By the way, one last tip. Thank you so much. Time is the one thing we can never get back. It's your most valuable resource. Thank you for trusting Nick and I with your time today. Thank you for taking the opportunity to jump into that free trial. It's going to be one of the best decisions that you made this week. I absolutely promise You're going to quickly find out it's going to be one of the best decisions you made this year for your business. So again, thanks again, everybody. You have the ability to choose. Let's get started right now. Click on that link, go to the shopping cart, grab that extra presentation, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Nick.